Heidi ho, everyone, and welcome aboard. Thank you, Sam. It's another Sunday market update. Thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to have you here as always. And as we begin our little trip around the world to see what our traders are thinking for the upcoming week, we also have to reflect on I've just been watching the local news here, and my goodness me, monkeypox. It's now a global concern. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Gee, we needed that like a hole in the head, didn't we? COVID, monkeypox. It kind of begs the question, what's next, doesn't it? Perish the thought. How about a clean bill of health around the world? That'd be pretty cool. What that's going to do to the markets, of course, is neither here nor there. I would suggest there's probably a few other things going on around the place, like wars and inflation and central banks nervous and wondering what the heck to do with themselves. It's a really sad scene, I've got to say, around the place at the moment. Yet the market's onwards, upwards, and they always keep doing what they do. Just the same old thing, over and over again. And someone once told me, whispered in my ear, maybe it was at Bali, that the markets trend more and longer than you think they ever will. I wonder who that might have been. She joins us now from London, I believe, where I think it's been a bit warm this week, Chloe.
Oh, gosh.
To say the least, right?
Us Brits love to complain about the weather, Geoff, but 40.3 degrees is more than we are prepared for. We don't have aircon throughout our houses and stuff. So
I mean, it must have been a big shock to the system for people over there.
It's been a sweaty week.
Yeah, it's pretty normal in Australia to get 40 degrees in the middle of summer, but not where you live.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't complain. And in fact, we have no right to complain, seeing as it's us that's caused this global warming anyway.
Indeed. Have we caused monkeypox?
I mean, yeah, it's doom and gloom, isn't it? If we think of it that way.
Yeah, look, let's keep our heads up, eh? What's going on with you with the upcoming week? What are we looking at?
All right, let's grab it and have a look. So I have been relying on the continued dollar strength for all of my trend trading. And yes, as Geoff says, I am always one to keep reminding myself and others that trends go on longer than we might think or expect. And usually when someone is talking about a market and saying, oh, that looks overextended, we're due a pullback, I think, well, yes, we are perhaps due a pullback, but that means I'm going to change my opinion of the overall trend, and I'm going to still continue looking for opportunities in the direction of the trend, and that continues until I see a technical reason not to. So with that having been said, let me just move that out of the way. I'm going to start off with gold and silver. Now, gold and silver, let's just go back up to the monthly time frame just to remind you where these levels that I have on my chart have come from. So this level price has just kind of almost failed to reach, actually, but that's based on these two most recent lows. So that's a reasonable level of support just there. Price has failed to reach down to that level and it has bounced. So if we come back to the daily time frame, what does that look like on the daily? Well, on the daily time frame, it actually does still look like a downtrend at the moment. So I am still happy to look for short opportunities, and this doesn't necessarily have to be the daily time frame. It could be any lower time frame as well. On gold, I will trade down to the 15-minute time frame quite happily. So yes, price has bounced just shy of this level here and come back up. But overall, we still have lower highs, still have lower lows. And this level that price has bounced up to, that is my key. If price gets above there, then I'm going to be fairly cautious about trading, because that is another level of support there. But as long as I still have lower highs and lower lows, then I'm still going to be looking for short opportunities until such a point as I get a higher low and higher high. Now, if price comes up here, then comes back down, gives me a higher low and a higher high, then I'll be looking for potential long opportunities on those lower timeframes. But as things stand, that's still in a downtrend. Now, silver, even more so, because silver, this horizontal level here, and again, let's remind ourselves where it's come from. This is a level that has been strong resistance. I'm now looking at that as a potential level of support. That is where price is just breaking beneath currently. So if price remains below there, then on the lower timeframes, I'll continue to look for short opportunities. It's not really traded much below this level. So it's not, I don't see this as a true break and continuation through this level yet. Price is more consolidating and kind of faffing around at this level. So I'm not 100% convinced that we're through this level, but in terms of trend, I am still going to continue looking for short opportunities. In terms of the currencies, now Aussie dollar has had quite a strong pullback, and it's pretty much bounced exactly in between these two levels that I had drawn in for when I last spoke to you last week, in fact. So it's come up to this higher level. I'm looking for a return to the downside. Again, overall, this is a downtrend, overall lower highs, lower lows. So I am going to be looking for a further move to the downside, unless this level here breaks to the upside, in which case there may be long opportunities on the lower timeframes. But for now, still bearish on that one. Still bearish on Kiwi dollar as well. Again, lower highs, lower lows. All of these price movements are basically the same, in that what we're seeing here is a pullback in the US dollar, and that is reflecting in all of these currencies crossed with the US dollar. But at the moment, it's nothing more than that for me, and I'm going to continue looking for short opportunities here. So this pullback here, wherever it might end, I'll then be looking for a potential return to the downside. Dollar yen, now this is one that actually is starting to look very tired, and I believe is due for a pullback. So on this daily time frame here, price has actually given a lower high and a lower low in terms of price action just here. And this pullback, if we look at it compared to the previous major, we would put a Fibonacci on there, which, I mean, I very rarely use Fibonacci. Let's do a better job of that. So that there has come way past the usual 61.8, which is the preferred area for price to pull back to in terms of Fibonacci. So it's come way past, and it's actually heading almost back down to a full 100% retracement. So it's looking tired on dollar yen. I am no longer looking for long opportunities there right now. What I will be doing is keeping a close eye on this and keeping on price action. I need to see a major lower high, and probably I'd like to see some kind of head and shoulders pattern. So I've got a left-hand shoulder there, head up here. I would want to see a right-hand shoulder around here, and I would want to see a break of the neckline before I then become bearish on this particular currency pair. So it's not that I'm starting to trade short right now. It's just that I'm at a little pause on my long trades until I see a technical setup to the upside. Euro dollar, this one again, still in a downtrend, and I'm still looking for short opportunities. This one has broken through a major level of support here, and there isn't an awful lot in the way of price before it gets down to this next level around 0.996 or thereabouts. So I'm still looking for short opportunities there if the technical setup happens. And cable, cable we've got going on at the moment with the political turmoil that we're in with looking for a new prime minister. And so there could be other fundamental things at work here. Technically, I am still bearish on cable, but with the other fundamentals, I would I would hesitate to trade lower time frames. I'm still open to trading it on a daily time frame, just being a little bit cautious on the lower time frames while we just iron out a few things politically over here. The last thing really to look at for me would be the oils. And to be honest with you, oils are not really doing an awful lot at the moment because prices still for me really consolidating or kind of between a range here. Highs, lower lows, but prices stuck above the 200 moving average and just above this horizontal level of potential support. Same with Brent. Yes, I have lower highs and lower lows, but this horizontal level here still stands. And until price gets below that, I'm not really trading short on there. Neither am I really going to be trading long because there's just too much resistance in the way of a clear run. And bearing in mind that the strategy that I trade is a high reward to risk strategy. I'm looking for long moves. I'm looking for, not long as in bullish, but long as in longer term moves. I'm looking for a lot of pips when I'm trading these trends. So trading while price is kind of ranging and trapped in between support and resistance is not really something that interests me particularly. So I'd rather just let more clarity of direction. So that's pretty much my outlook for a few of the majors and a few of the things that I'm looking out for this week.
Cheers, Chloe. Look, I think we kind of mentioned exactly the same thing last week, where this is very dollar-centric, US dollar-centric. And I noticed you haven't stretched anywhere outside of that. Interesting. Any of the miners at all crossing your path, or is it just a matter of no, they're all over the shop and let's not worry about them? It's all about the dollar still.
I think for me it is all about the dollar at the moment. There are a couple of miners that I'm keeping an eye on, but in the interest of time, I didn't include them in my watch list for today. But I will be in Trader Talk Radio on, I do Mondays and Tuesdays. So if anyone wants to see what I'm trading Mondays and Tuesdays, they can feel free to do that as well.
Speaking about miners, I think the only ones I'm interested in at the moment are those who are gold and silver miners. maybe coal as well, but both at support, as you pointed out, and interesting. Yes. They're really at turning points there right now. And if they get through those support levels, goodness me, what happens next? Crazy days. You would have thought, with the uncertainty around the place, that they'd be going probably the opposite direction, but they're not. And I agree with you. This may not be done yet, this downward trend on both gold and silver. Eventually it'll turn around, but maybe now is not the time. We will see. Thanks, mate. It's good to talk to you again. Cheers. Twice in 2 weeks. We haven't traded, so now it's twice in 2 weeks. Catch you later, eh?
Catch you later. Cheers, Geoff.